everyone, lead trainer with Stocks to Trade, Tim Bowen here, back with episode 2 of Swing Trading 101. Okay, keep in mind, we're gonna start working through the worksheet, breaking down how to find the best swing trade. But if you haven't gone to stockstotrade.com/free training, maybe pause the video. The link's also below. Go over there, drop your email, because I want you to have the worksheet. Okay, you're gonna see the worksheet. We're gonna break it down. I'd prefer, if possible, you get that PDF, maybe you print a copy, maybe you print a handful of copies, and we work together through this. It's all free. If you go to stockstotrade.com/free training, you get the worksheet, you get the archive of the other previous classes, you get future classes, and you also get a weekly swing trade watch list in your inbox every Sunday. stockstotrade.com/free training. All right, let's get started. So you can see on my screen is a copy of the worksheet. And we're going to be talking about a ticker. You know, keep in mind as I work through this course, depending on when you watch it, the stock I'm talking about may or may not be in play. But I'm going to give you an example. And every time I say the ticker, focus on the why, or the how, or the why, I should say. You know, what's the why? Why am I looking at this one? Because odds are, depending on when you watch this video, this stock may keep going or may fade away or maybe just be going sideways. I want you thinking about the why these criteria, and why this stock was meant one of the most beautiful swing trades when it broke out about a week ago. So that being said, I'm talking about DATS, and this is a cool company, you know, so right off the bat, that is one thing we look for. And well, I'm skipping ahead because it is on the sheet. So ultimately, I'll talk about why I like DATS so much and why it fits the criteria of a cool hot sector stock. So right off the bat, I'm going to write down the ticker at the top of the worksheet, DATS. I'm a big fan of tactile stuff. Now, I know I'm an old guy. You can tell by the gray hair. But there's something to be said, and there's been studies done on this. I mean, there's a reason probably every high school class, every college class, they tell you to take down the notes. You know, write down what you're thinking, what you're hearing the instructors say. And even if you never revisit those notes, I mean, you may chuck that notebook in the trash, take the final exam and do well. There's something about the human brain and, you know, the mind and like hand connection. So if you prefer to do digital, you can. I use like Sketchit and a couple other, you know, the Windows OS has the whiteboard app. You can do it digitally, but think about printing them out and actually doing it tactile, especially when we're building these skills. I think it really helps you get through what's called like the OODA loop quickly. Okay, that's what ultimately this worksheet is built on. If you're familiar with the OODA loop, Roddy Boyd, a fighter pilot, came up with it. It's observe, orientate, decide, and act. I've actually got an entire trading course built on top of the OODA loop, and understand that the faster you can observe, orientate, decide, and act, the faster you can get a good entry, the faster you can make money. So anyway, we'll save that for a different day. But try and print these out and work off of them. So that being said, DATS, right first box is, did they have recent earnings? And that's a catalyst we're always going to look for. You'll hear me talk about earnings season a lot. And the thing is, I think a lot of people overlook this, that, you know, earnings season is about 6 weeks long, okay? Earnings season happens 4 times a year. That's basically 24 weeks of the year we're in earnings season. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't want to only trade earnings because, you know, there's so much of the year I'm not trading. Well, again, keep in mind, it's basically half the year roughly is earnings season when you add it up. I mean, 24 weeks is almost half a year. So don't get in that kind of mode to not specifically focus on earnings season, and they're the best swing trades. So what we're looking for, that recent earnings, and then we're looking up for a gap up the day following earnings. Okay, we never guess into earnings. Okay, we don't do YOLO trades here. Okay, you want to do YOLO trades and buy a bunch of options into earnings and lose your all account, head on over to TikTok, okay? There's plenty of crazy people over there that will teach you that strategy. We're trying to trade safely. We're trying to grow our account, especially as a part-time trader, hence what we talked about in video 1. All right, that being said, We're going to look at stocks with recent good reaction to earnings. You can see DATS had that, gapped up afterwards, and has continued trending higher. I'm going to be focusing a lot on this level back at that 52-week breakout. You can see on my screen, let me jump over to a 1 year, 1 day chart. And when we talk about the big chart, you'll hear me say that a lot. That is that let me go charting. That is that 1 day, 1 year chart. And I'll show you that. And the level we are looking at would be right here when it broke out above that 52-week high right in this area. So that means that earnings come out. Then the next criteria we're looking at, is there a catalyst? And typically earnings is the catalyst. That's our number one catalyst. But if we're outside of earnings season, maybe, there's no earnings out there. So we're now looking for news like contract wins, new product announcements, IPOs, SPACs, etc. Great thing about DATS, not only did they have earnings, it's also a recent IPO and it's a hot sector stock. So checking a lot of boxes already, and I haven't even gotten very far through the worksheet. So the catalyst is they're a social media company tied to blockchain. So a lot of buzzwordy stuff. Also a recent IPO, initial public offering. If you're not familiar with those, definitely check out the archive. So then we add in big breakout, which is the next criteria. Is the stock at or around a 52-week high? And you can see that level. When it broke that 8 level, that was a 52-week high. That was a big breakout, key psychological level. So I've checked earnings, I've checked catalyst, I've checked at or around a 52-week high. Then I want to know, is there a chart break with clear support? So now once we jump over to that 1 year, 1 day chart, you can see that I've got very prominent support in the 750 level, okay? I'm going to talk a lot about technical analysis. Again, the sake of this video, we're talking about the worksheet, and I'm going to speed through some of the stuff. Understand there's a lot of material on our YouTube talking about technical support and analysis. Now, I'm hoping you're a little versed in it and you can see that same level I see in the 750s, even the high 7s. So now I can check that box where I've got a chart break with clear support, and then I've also got that 52-week high. So now I've got a catalyst, earnings, plus hot sector, plus a cool IPO, blockchain everyone's excited about. I add in a big breakout, which you can see the volume confirmation there. So when this stock broke out, notice biggest, highest volume candles back-to-back days when it broke out. So I've got interest in it. I've then got a support level to risk off of. So say the $8 break comes, it fails. I now got a clearly defined area to stop off of. So now I've just checked 4 out of 4 boxes, and I've got some bonuses in that, again, hot sector IPO. Check it. I mean, I could probably next to catalyst, and I'll do this quite sometimes, I'll put like 3 X's or 3 check marks to show me that I've got a lot going for this. Okay, that's the first half of the sheet. Next half, we're gonna break it down. The next criteria, I'm trying to keep these bite-sized every single week for you. Head over to stockstotrade.com/free training to get access to the worksheet and start breaking these down, experiment, tweak, use your data tracking to see where these stocks end up going. And then in the next episode, we're gonna break down the second half of the worksheet to find this best day trade. All right, have a great day, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Head to stockstotrade.com/free training or click the link below, and we'll see you on the next video.